Hey, can you hear me, Matrima, now? Is there sound now? Please tell me yes. Tell me that there's sound, please. Because I can see that there should be. Yes, okay. Great. Thank you very much for being with us today for this community stream number 161. I was just explaining that the reason why I'm just a few minutes late is simply because it seems like now I will have a specific issue that I need to take care of every single time my computer restarts, because every single time it wants to put it enforces settings on um, OBS, which is the tool we use to stream, that are not compatible with Air Server, which is the app that I'm using to broadcast my iPad here. So, long story short, I start the stream. Everything is working fine before the stream. When I want to launch the stream, there's no more window for the game. But it's not like it shows nothing. It's just there's no source whatsoever that I can use that would show the stream unless I get it sorted. This time, at least, I knew what it was. So it just took me a minute to get and solve that. But yeah, the moment for me to realize what was going on, fix it quickly, etc., took a few minutes of rush, making sure that everything worked, and then going live. So that's why we were a bit late, but at least it left sometimes for people to join us today. So welcome to the community stream. We will be starting as always with the easy mode. We don't have too many players in there. That should be rather fast today. We have 15 players this time around, and we are going to be starting right now because the event is live. So let's go. I didn't change much to the armies that you are fighting. I only took one of the skin out for this easy army because it was annoying me a lot. The spider web skin is really annoying me because you cannot see any other units. It's bothering me. So I took this out and of course updated the power stones. Um, so yeah, welcome to this community stream. It should be rather fast, as we were saying, for the easy mode, but it should be fun still. Oh, and this time around, sorry, you will have to see me have the Unit Express and the roll shipments going on because sadly there was just too much happening today. I did not manage to get to play what I've been doing for the last couple of streams, or quite a few streams now, which explains why you are not saying this anymore. Is simply because I was playing, running the game in auto mod for a certain amount of time before the streams just to make sure we get that out of the way. Sadly, I didn't have the time for that today. So, yeah, bear with me with this. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, but yeah, that's just the way it is for the time being. So, in the meantime, I'm making sure that we have enough auto spin tokens for the other accounts that will come right after. And yeah, something tells me it's going to be super fast today. So we will have plenty to talk about today. Um, I would like to start with something. I'm not going to be controversial or going into any such direction. I know today is a very important day for a lot of people in the US, especially, but across the world. Some people will be happy, some people will be extremely sad, some people will rejoice, some people will cry. Um, it's not my role to give any position on that, so I'm not gonna. All I want is for this stream to be a place where people can just have a breath and take a deep breath and have some fun with the game, regardless of how you feel about the events of today. Um, yeah, in general, you will never see me going into politics because it's not my role and I'm not gonna do it. But I, the only politic action I take with this game is to make sure that anyone is welcomed in here, regardless of your political views, and especially on a day like this where it's always going to be very um, dividing people. That's a message I wanted to come across. No matter how you feel today, you're welcome to this stream. And I hope you will have a lot of fun. I hope you will learn a few things about what's coming in the game next. And that's the most important part for me. With that out of the way, we will be able to talk about the game. But I'm just checking because we're going very fast with this first section, so we are quickly going to be at the end of it. I think there's already like 5 accounts left, so it's going fast. It's going very fast. So yeah, what are we going to talk about today? Some of the stuff that are coming in to the game very soon now. Um, the main thing, which I hoped I would be able to share some more details with you, but the meeting where I will get some more details is actually in 2 days. Um, so I don't have as much details as I would like to. But the next thing coming into the game, now that everything related to the global red boss is out, will be the artifacts rework. For those wondering, yeah, okay, give me my gold. For those wondering about the GRB, we know that not everything is solved, right? It's not because some work was done and things progressed that everything is sorted and running perfectly. We know, for example, that there is a problem right now with some players and the rewarding that prevents them from entering the event properly. It's a very few number of players that have this issue, but I know it's a very big one because you cannot enter the event. Just know that the team is still working on the fix for that. It shouldn't take too long. So I'm quite positive we'll quickly get an actual resolution for that. Now, regarding the GRB, there are some things we still want to do. And Simbi, I think, is the last account. Yes. Okay. There are a few things we still want to do with the event, but for this iteration of the event, the main parts are done. The tweaks that you should be expecting still in the coming versions, so in the coming weeks and before the end of the year, let's say, will be tweaks to the number of arts for the global red boss, as well as how much points you need to level the boss to the second, third, fourth, etc. level. That's a part that is not too clear yet in the game in terms of UI and such. But please know that this is um, something very important. You can level up the boss like you would with your clan reds. And when you do so, your rewards that you're getting are a bit better, especially the currencies, etc. Of course, we're not going to make we can't really make the portraits or these kind of things better with each level that you climb, but the currencies and such are better, which is something that was really poorly communicated initially within the game. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people were like, oh, the rewards are bad. But that's because you all started at the level 1 of the boss. The reality of it is that for a lot of the super advanced players, they should, after a certain number of events, have a global red boss that will be level 2, 3, 4, 5, and that will change how good the rewards you get are. And you can level down the boss if it gets too hard for you by simply playing less in an event. You're going to drop points that you need to keep the level. And if you don't play at all in an event, you're losing some points, which will bring the boss down, most likely a level, etc. So that's still in there. It's not communicated as clearly as it should, I know, and we should get that going. So yeah, that's still something that you will see changing in the coming weeks because we still need to tweak the values there and see how strong they are, etc. Now, as I was saying, outside of the global red boss, the main change coming into the game will be the artifacts rework. The idea with the artifacts rework, for those that didn't watch our latest streams, is fairly simple. The artifacts reworks mean that you will go from having 5 levels of artifacts to something, I think at the moment the number that was discussed is 12. There will be 12 levels. But the highest level, so the new. Hi, Mr. Undercover Anonymous. You got notification when stream is live, and you have to go to our channel to find the live stream. I'm not sure what you mean. The live stream link was posted as we usually do on Discord. It's true that we didn't put it in the game. That's something we didn't do in the past month or so. We might start doing it again, but the last time we tried, there was some issues with the link, so the link didn't work quite well. So that's why I was not doing it lately. But yeah, potentially that's something we could do. Sorry, I'm just checking that we have everything we need for the other edition of the live stream. Seems like we do, so we'll be able to start. First players will be Gorka Mocha, King Elric, Evie Style, Cheever, Deathly Hallows, Michael Myers, The Hack, Rib, Victor, and J1234. G1234, sorry. That will be the first players. And let's go. Yes. Um, so yeah, regarding the artifacts rework, you will move from 5 levels to having 12 levels, but the new level 12 will have a value that is pretty close to the current level 5. So what does it mean? It means for everyone that was at level 5 up until now, I don't have the details yet on whether you will be moved to level 6 or level 7 or at level 5, I don't know yet. So you will still have an advance on anyone that is level 4 or level 3 or anything like this, but you will still have some ways to go to level 12. Since there are more levels, the difference between each level will be less dramatic, which means for a lot of players, it will level the battlefield a bit and it will make the artifacts slightly less of a game changer than they currently are. Also, just to make sure that you guys cannot just jump to level 12 in 2 weeks, we will have a new currency that you will need as well alongside the ones that exist that you will need for the last levels. This way, we know it's going to take some time for people to get there, and we make sure that we level the battlefield for a long time to go. I'm not um, saying that no one will reach level 12 of their artifacts in no time. Probably people will. Some people will because they will decide to go crazy and buy all the artifacts fragments that they can and all of that. But ultimately, it will still be better scenario than right now because someone that is at level 12 would anyway have a lower advantage over someone that is at level 10, for example, than right now between level 4 and 5. So that's the main point that it's gonna address. It gives something to focus on for the top guys that felt like, hey, I have leveled up all the artifacts, I have nothing left to do. it will make the other events in the game more important because the new currency you'll need will probably be one that you need to get from participating in events. And at the same time, it will make the gap between the players that were at level 5 and all the others slightly less drastic. Again, as you know, since for the last 6 months, pretty much, that's something we focused heavily on because it's important to understand that to bring new players in the game, we need to make sure they have something to enjoy in the game. And one of the main problems with Battle Legion is that players have something to enjoy into the game until they reach the leagues. And when they were reaching the league, it was simply not making any sense for them. No longer than a few days ago, I have a returning player that came to talk to me and gave me some feedback of, hey, I might just quit the game because even if I understand why it is this way, for somebody returning like me, and I know the game because I played before, so I know the strategies, etc. I cannot contribute to the clan reds because I'm not strong enough. I cannot make any difference in the global red boss. I cannot defeat the skirmish. I am stuck with the journey levels where I'm at, or I'm already done with them and I'm tired. And I have nothing to do because I know I cannot really climb up in the season. So there's nothing left for me to do to enjoy except a super long grind that is now this grind part is taking longer than it used to. And it's sometimes hard to grasp because for a lot of players that have been playing for years, they have the feeling that they've been grinding for years. And it's true, but they forget that it didn't take that long for them to get to the last 5% of players kind of tier. And then it was a grind. But they could get there. Maybe it took them 6 months, maybe it took them a year, but they were getting there. Right now, for a new player to get to that point is an insane amount of time to spend or an insane amount of money to spend. And the problem is, some may say, oh, but that's okay. In every game, it's the same. Yes, but if you don't give new players a way to catch up to some extent, they will never fully catch up. They will never be stronger than the old guard. But if you do not give them a way to at least reduce a bit this gap and get a bit closer, you simply won't keep those new players. And that means the game will get smaller and smaller community wise and player base wise over the time. Or you are going to fully split the game, which means there will be the top guys and everyone else. The problem with this direction, which a lot of games are going with, is that you end up in a situation where you cannot do much for the top guys, so they get bored because you have to focus on the 98% of players that are nowhere near those top guys. And if the top guys want to get things that they can enjoy, they kind of need to accept to get a tiny bit closer from the crowd. And I would say as well that even for the top guys, it's a bit more pleasant to have an edge over people, but be fighting against new people, etc., than to keep their old ways and advantages, but just play between themselves forever until one after the other they get bored, they quit, and at the end, give it 1 year, give it 2 years, and it's gonna be just a bunch of people left, and that wouldn't be fun either. So that's the direction we're going with the new artifacts. It's gonna level the battlefield. It's gonna give something new for players to focus on, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It will also allow us to slightly rebalance the artifacts further. So it's likely that some artifacts and especially some attunements might not be as strong as they used to, or some others will be stronger than they used to because they were a bit too uninteresting, let's say. And it will also, once we have this new system in place, give us more opportunity to create and add new artifacts as well. So that will be coming next. That's for still, we're still talking 2024. This is planned ideally for the end of the month. I would say maybe early December to be realistic, but it's coming this year. And ideally coming this year as well will be the last steps that we're working on regarding the achievements. Still have a few achievements that we want to get in. Still need to tweak a bit the seasonal ones as well. This is coming ideally by the end of the year as well. Hey, Yosif, welcome. You're asking us for news about Eternite Extravaganza. Sorry. I do not know yet when the next Eternite Extravaganza will take place. I know that the team didn't want to have one before the Halloween event because they were releasing a lot of skins for Halloween, and there was a risk that if we were releasing an Eternite Extravaganza before that, we would kind of kill the mood for skins to some extent because players would have gotten a lot of brand new skins, so they would be slightly less excited about the new ones, which we know happens. Like when we ran the first few Eternite Extravaganza, we could see that the next skins to be released were not performing as well. So that's something we need to factor in. Now that this event is behind us, maybe it will be closer to um, get out. I know that it will come. I do not know exactly when yet, but it will come. No worries. That's something I can guarantee. There will be another round of the Eternite Extravaganza. In general, it is mostly based on how much Eternite people stacked. So for us, when we spot that people have too much Eternite Extravaganza, that's when we say, okay, we need too much Eternite, sorry. That's when we say we need an Eternite Extravaganza. It's based on how much Eternite people have. You have 70k, you need to use it. You need to use it. That's the problem. No, but that illustrates the problem with Eternite a lot. This issue should be slightly less present going forward because as we are adding um, new currencies and new resources like the ethereal keys, the keys for the keys for the journey levels. I don't remember their name. And now there will be also this currency for the artifacts. As we are adding all of that and putting them as rewards, there are some places where we will also be taking out a tiny bit of Eternite. So there will be a bit less Eternite going to players. Because technically, as you just demonstrate, having 70k Eternite aside does not make too much sense either. We like the Eternite concept because it offers players that cannot spend into the game or don't want to, or spend only on the key game design related things, an opportunity to get skins, and that's cool. But it has to be balanced in a way that it's not like you get too many skins um, or too much Eternite for free that it piles up to crazy level. I remember when we did the first Eternite Extravaganza, there were some people that were in the 700,000s of Eternite stocked. Um, that's insane. Like, it's absolutely insane to have someone that has any currency in the game to have so many of it. So yeah. Yosef, yeah, I know it's not that much and you're just saving it. As I was saying, I've seen people with 10 times more than what you have right now. But that's what I mean is that it's not supposed to be something you save up for a super long period of time to have insane amounts and drop it all at once. It's the kind of currencies that ideally people would spend regularly on. And that's also the danger and why we're not having the Eternite extravaganza too often. Is that right now, with the amount of Eternite you're getting from the game, if we were doing the Eternite extravaganza too often, people would be able to get more skins because they would take advantage of this event, which would make the perceived value of the skins we're releasing every month lower. So it's something we need to balance all the time. We are still happy that the Eternite system exists in the game. It's a cool thing. There will still be Eternite extravaganza, but really, it's not something you can expect more than a few times a year. Really, it's something we're gonna keep. Maybe it will come for Christmas or something like this to be a celebration, but I don't think you will see it happen way more often than that. Like 3, 4 times a year, maybe, but I don't see it coming way more often. Because we need anyway people to pile up some Eternite before that. Um, and yeah, that's the rhythm I can imagine being there. Okay, we are fighting Breather right now. Next players will be Sam, Aniviper, Skarsgård, Jesper, Evan, and Orange Reefer. Sorry. Um, yeah, one other point I wanted to discuss with you today is to give you an update on what is happening with the cheaters situation. You might have not seen it or witnessed it too much, but the number of cheaters have decreased in the past 2 weeks. It's not because they cannot do what they were doing, but it's because we are able to detect them a bit faster. It's still not fully automated, and it's still not perfect yet. We're still tweaking the um, the factors, but right now the detection tool that we use with the current criterias, we don't have any false positives anymore, which means whenever I check accounts that are reported in this tool, they're all cheaters. And that's super cool because if we have a set of criteria that is even 99.9% efficient and does not return um, players that would be legit and end up being caught up in the system, for example, that means we have something very good that we can automate. So that's the next step, which we hope to be able to get in the coming weeks to have it fully automated. And that should make us able to get the players that are cheating out of the system before they can get to the leagues. So as soon as they reach rank 16 or even prior to that, but before they get into the league, they should be out of the game. And if we do that, it means they will never crack it to the top 100. And if they can never crack it to the top 100, give it a few weeks time, and it will entirely stop. Because those players, they're not able to get anything free in the game or whatever. So what they're doing only benefits to them if they can troll the players by showing up in the top 100. If our measure is enough to prevent them from being anywhere near the top 100, it's gonna stop really quickly because it's gonna be boring for them. They won't have anything to gain from it. It will also be less of an issue for players because ultimately that would mean for other players they will only be facing guys that have super low armies and they wouldn't be hurt as much from this. So that should be going down rather quickly. And once the automation is in place, if everything works fine, it will get better as well as it trains itself to that. So we can then hope that by the time they rank to the rank 10 or something like this, they're out. Um, they're doing it very quickly, those cheaters, in give them an hour on a new account and they can get there to the top 100. If we are able to get that system to refresh like every 10 minutes, they will never make it. So that's the system we're looking at the moment. Okay. So, guys, I don't know if you guys have any other questions, any questions actually, because we have roughly 60, we have precisely 60 players to go. We have done one third of the actual fight night. So, yeah, if you have questions, please let me know. The elements I just shared with you are the key things that are coming by the end of the year. So, artifacts rework, probably some work on the achievements. Maybe it could come early next year if we're not able to uh, clo- get that clustered by the end of the year. But it's still planned for this year, and be fully closing this topic for the cheaters. One thing I can bring up as well regarding the wall, the infamous wall. So the progression of players once they enter the league. We've been deleting inactive accounts from matchmaking even faster than the last time. So it used to be 1 year. We moved it to 9 months, and now it's six of inactivity. As we were already stating in the past, we might go even to 4 or 3 months going forward. We just need to make sure we keep enough player in each of the pools to make it work. But we're slowly taking step by step there. So we are making progress there. Hopefully that should help. The wall should also be helped by the changes we've done to the league rewards and the fact that now you cannot manually drop as low as you used to. This is already showing when we look at the winning ratio for the players that just entered the league. It's a bit better. It's going slowly back to what it used to. And the artifacts rework will most likely play a big role there because if you think about the inactive players, no matter how we look at it, they will not be able to. Yep, sorry guys. So yeah, the inactive players will not be able to level up their artifacts because they're inactive, right? So that means when we do the change, if these inactive players remain to where they stopped, that means they will be stuck at level 5 artifacts or something like this, or wherever the move will be done. But the point is to make it slightly faster for new players to get to that initial level as well. So it should be becoming less of a struggle when you arrive into the wall than it used to. So that's quite a quite a big deal ultimately, and that is coming by the end of the year still. For the end of the year, just like every year, please note that from the middle of December until very early January, the stores are pretty much preventing us from making big updates. We can do hot fixes, we can have small updates with no real code changing, but just minor stuffs. But they're really asking developers not to go into full fleshed updates, which means we have 5 to 6 weeks before being into officially the end of the year for us. And then starting in January, the first week of January is usually going to be quite busy. So most likely you will have a 3 week cycle where there's not a lot happening in the game. That's kind of happening every year. There's also, everyone is celebrating Christmas, New Year's Eve, all of that. So it's kind of expected, but that's just so that you also know why we're not planning to have so many things coming in by the end of the year. Then early next year, at the moment we're moving forward very fast with that, will be a big update both for old players and new players because that's a UI rework. The UI rework is meant to modernize a bit the game. It will not impact the fights. The fights UI, etc., will remain the same. But it's more of the menus when you enter the game, etc., that will be reworked to be a bit fresher, a bit clearer. And also because we have now more currencies, we have more events. So it's kind of getting clogged, and we want to get this to be modernized a little, but also because we wanted to compete better against competitors. We did some tests on that, and we know that the UI needs to be to evolve a little. Why do I say that it's also going to be a good change for existing players? It's because we're also introducing things with this UI change. I don't know yet if it's going to come in January or February, etc. But I've already told you the last times, I think, but we're working on battle reports. So every single end of a match, you will be able to click on the battle reports. And in the battle reports, you will see all your units, all your opponent's units, how much damage you dealt, how much damage you took, how much damage you deflected, how many units were killed by that specific units, and you will even, this point is still being debated, but you might be able to see what power stones were equipped on your opponent's units as well. This part is still being debated because we know players kind of like to keep that secret as well. But those battle reports, that's the part that I think the old players will love because that's been requested forever to have more stats on that side of things. So um, that's gonna be coming. One thing we're also looking into, and at first it might seem like a very tiny thing, but on the longer run it opens up a lot of possibility, is a commander system. What I mean by this is that in Battle Legion you are a commander, right? You are actively taking the control of the battle. You're the strategic commander, and we want to have this represented in the game by giving you the choice between different commanders that you can equip. And at the beginning, it's something that will mostly be relevant for newcomers, and it will be just a UI thing. It's not really going to be changing much. But on the longer run, we can imagine a lot of things coming in because we can imagine that depending on the commander that you use, you can have passive buffs or active buffs um, that are specific to that. We don't want to go too far with this because we don't want to add yet another strategic system that would make the game even more complex than it currently is, but it will allow us to do something. So that's one bit. One thing I can also mention as being worked on for next year is defensive artifacts. We are working on having a fourth artifact slot that will be 100 focus on defense abilities. You would have just one slot, so you cannot use too much power, and the defense will never be as strong as what the offensive artifacts do. But that's something we are looking at as well to make the game fully complete on that loop, if you will, of the game. So yeah, those are the things you can expect to come early next year. And then for the rest, that's going to be further down the road. Don't want to talk too much about this, but yeah. Okay, guys. So, any questions? Yes. Because we still have, I think, We are halfway through. We have 45 accounts to go at this point. Also, one thing, given the Christmassy kind of time we will be entering in, I will look out to the dates. Let me check right now. The next stream that we should have altogether will be on the 20th of November. So that will be taking place. Same for the 4th of December. And we will likely have big celebration one on the 18th of December. And that should be the last one for the year. We will then have 3 weeks of break and either 3 weeks or 4 weeks of break. So either we will return on the 8th of January or the 15th. We'll see about that. But yeah, Christmas time means also holidays on my side. So I won't be able to set necessarily a streaming. Like I think it would have been anyway on the 1st of January or something like this, right? Yeah, the one after the 18th would have been on the 1st of January. I am not sure I want you guys to see me on the first day of the year, completely hangovered and doing a stream on Battle Legion. Also, I highly doubt that I would think about editing my army on the 31st at midnight or something like this. So yeah, this one will probably be skipped. But as I said, the one on the 18th of December will probably be one with boosted rewards. I will probably do something like we did the last time. We'll make sure that we are granting some Christmassy skins and do some contest over there. We'll see how we do it, but we'll do something about that for sure. So yeah, I'm trying to think about what else is coming by the end of the year that I can communicate. Um, of course, we are in November. You know that it means you will have Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming in. We will have good offers and such coming in as always. Uh, but this time around, the surprises will probably come from the Spellwagon website, where we are finally getting more and more content added. There will most likely be something very cool, even for people that are not purchasing. Wink, wink, I'm not going to say what, but there will be some really cool things coming um, on Spellwagon um, around that time. That's what I can say for now. As for the Christmas period, I'm not so sure yet what we will do, but there will definitely be things organized and set up for the event. Yeah, not sure what we'll do yet. Of course, there will be some free gifts and stuff as well, because that's Christmas. There's always going to be these kind of things you can expect to get, regular free cards during the Christmas period. I don't know exactly what else the team is planning on yet, but that's gonna be something we'll look into for sure. Okay, so I'm kind of glad that I see a lot of the altar and the pyro scorpion, whatever the name is, I don't remember. Pyro stinger, I think. I didn't see that many pyro stinger in the past, so that's cool that we see this unit coming in. Oh, also, no, I mean, I already mentioned it the last time. I pretty much spilled the beans already on that, but there will be a massive surprise for Thanksgiving this year, and it might or it might not be skin related, and it might or might not be related to a contest we've had not too long ago. All that's all I will say on it, but that is coming for sure. I did fight heavily to make sure that this would come in time, and the guys on the team did everything needed for that to happen. So that's very very cool. Okay, at this point we have precisely 35, so 36 accounts to go. So if you have questions, if you have stuffs you want to ask about the game, etc., please, please let me know. One thing I can bring up, because there were a few questions about that. After the issue that happened last week or 10 days ago now with the Power Stones and the clone Power Stones, especially, um, it seems like a lot of people got confused about the clone Power Stone and were feeling that even after our fix, it was still not working. One thing I learned from the game team, uh, whenever you have a group of units, so whenever a group of units is not just one unit but a group, not cloning the entire group, it's adding one unit to the group, which kind of makes sense because otherwise, with large groups of units, you could basically completely flood the entire screen with units, and the game would not be able to um, to understand what was going on. But the other thing to factor in that the clone uh, Power Stone, from what I understand, only works when you are fighting, meaning when you're in your preparation, you should not see the clones unit. And it may sound obvious, but I think people got so used to the fact that it was working fine and not questioning it that when it broke, a lot of people forgot a bit how it was working. So we got a lot of questions on support side, etc., about why it was not working on this unit and this unit, even from players that were on the very new version. So that's something I can clarify here. Also, we have a few players that reported to us still some balancing changes that would be required. Um, we are still taking care of that things. The last few seasons did not have big balance updates because we had a lot going on with the GRB, etc. But you should be reporting if you have something that you think is unbalanced, etc. Please, please let us know. We'll keep working on that. It's very important. Yeah, that's really important for us. Another good news I forgot to mention: journey levels. We told you that we wanted now to have journey levels every other season. We had 5 added last week, if I remember correctly, or 10 days ago. And I was not sure if we would be able to get some added for season 4, but I can confirm that they are coming in season 4. So the pattern from now on for new journey levels will be season 2 and season 4 for every era. That's what we're looking at. 5 levels each time. So that's 10 levels added per era, which means, every year that makes it pretty much 60 levels that will be added. So it's a fair amount of levels to add every year, and this way you guys should be able to enjoy getting new levels to play on as well. The other thing is, even if it's not a big amount, it still contributes to the player's progression being slightly faster, because since we add more levels, that also comes with a bit more rewards. And so ultimately, even if it's not a lot, it's still adding to what people can get. Okay, guys. So right now we are fighting the rootkit. Where is he? The rootkit. Yeah, we have 28 players going on. So next one will be Benuzet, French player. Obviously, we'll have Zul'jin. We'll have Benny Pataglu. We'll have Wink. That's how I would say it. Basically, just the emoji. We'll have White Hat, Aldrin, the Cheat, Rosarman, PSK, Black Hat, and I'm gonna stop there because that's it's a lot to quote. But yeah, that's the direction we're going with right now. So as I was saying earlier, if you have any question, you can definitely ask for it. There's only a few of you at the moment that are watching, so might not be as many. One thing that is important to note for all of you that are watching the um, replays, because I know there's quite a lot of people watching the replays, you can always reach out to us prior to a stream if you want us to cover a specific topic or a specific question in the stream. That's true. It's something I'm not mentioning that often, so maybe people don't think about it too easily. But you can do that, and we would be happy if you do this because sometimes, when I spend an hour or an hour and a half speaking, talking about different topics, etc., there are points where I have just simply a lot less to talk about because there's not as much I can share as I would like to. And this is a good opportunity for me to take on questions from people and also questions that were asked beforehand. So if you have questions and you want us to answer to them in the stream, you're not going to be able to watch live, but you want to be able to hear the answer when we have when you will watch the replay. Do not hesitate to simply ask that, and that's something we'll get going for sure. Also, am I the only one? But the more I see the Thunder Lizard unit, the more it makes me think of. Um, Let me recheck the name. Uh, where is he? Come on. Yeah, the more it makes me think of Watto from Star Wars. I had Waldo in my mind, which I knew was not the correct name, but it makes me think of Watto, who is the owner of Hanakin on Tatooine when he's still a kid. And yeah, I just feel like this character looks a lot like him ultimately. I wouldn't be surprised if that was at least part of the inspiration that was going on there. Talking about this, the unit's design, um, if you guys have any comments on the skins we released for Halloween and such, please let us know. We are always looking for feedback on these kind of things. We know that the Halloween skins are important, so usually that's the kind of moment of the year where you will always look and see great skins being released. But yeah, we are always looking for ways to improve what we're doing with the skins. If you have any feedback on that, whenever you notice something that is a bit wrong with one unit on the design side, I mean on the art design, please let us know. There's been a few cases already reported. I remember there was something wrong with the animation of the Shadow Void Dragon, for example, that we fixed. So there are things like this that can happen at times. When that happens, just let us know so we can get it sorted. And also, if you're just happy about the skins that you see, or if you have specific ideas and such, just let us know. If you have ideas, you can also just keep them for yourself for a little while until there's a next contest running. Regarding contests, we will probably wait a bit for the next one on the community side. The one for Halloween was not too successful, to be honest. So yeah, we're gonna wait a little and get those going when we can. Okay, we now have 16, 17 players to go. So Black Hat, which is where I stopped right before, is going on right now. Then we'll have Aaron, Sparrow, Small, Kiran, Narcissus, Haim, Swarm, Phoenix, Forerunner, Sabrium. Um, we'll have the DDoS, sorry, Mador, Niklot, Jam, Rentu, Bon, and Gwynella will be the last one we have there. I see a few people that have not been there too often in the streams, so that's quite cool. Trying to see today who was the player participating that had the least amount of registrations. We had one player that never participated so far, who was Tony the Beach Hope, was the 34th player of the day, and he never participated before. That's always quite cool to see. And it's quite bold that he never participated but went directly to the hardcore fight. So I hope that he won. But yeah, I see that Rosarman, who we had just a few minutes ago, I had only 9 participation. Aaron, that we just had a few seconds ago, is only on his second participation, apparently. So that's cool. And we still have AIM that will come up in just, I would say, probably 30 seconds by the look of it with my fight with Narcissus. Well, no, Narcissus is coming up, so it's skill run right now. Uh, After Narcissus, it's going to be AIM or Haim. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. That will be on its first participation. And further down below, we still have Sabrium, who will be on its third participation. So that's cool to see new people coming in, joining. I know that it's most likely for a lot of you alternate accounts, etc. That's okay. Um, I don't need to know. No one needs to know. Don't tell me. Let me believe that it's brand new players. That's the way I like to see it going. So yeah, we have roughly 10 players to go, and then that will be done for today. As I said, the next stream will be in 2 weeks, and we shouldn't be having a delay this time compared to today. It was just a few minutes, but yeah, definitely something a bit annoying when you have to restart um, the whole system a few times for basic stupid setups. stupid settings that are changing whenever you restart your computer. That's not ideal. So I hope that the guys from OBS will quickly solve this issue. And on my side, I will make sure to double check that element a bit more closely. I was kind of not surprised. Like the first time it happened, I was like, okay, this kind of things can happen. But today I was really surprised because I didn't expect it to revert back after I changed it purposely the last time to avoid this issue. But yeah, this is the way it is. There's not much else to do about it, right? Also, it seems that quite a fair amount of you were happy with the wardrobe that we put for Halloween, the gems one. I know some of you would have preferred to have the Eternite extravaganza at this point, obviously, but the gem wardrobe seemed to have been quite popular among players, and that's a cool thing. That's also something that should be happening slightly more often as we go, as we have more and more skins anyway that we can re-release and get out. Same goes for the Eternite ones that should be renewed soon. So yeah, that's um, that's something you can expect as well. So the DDoS, who will be following that? Let me see. We still have one, two, three, four, five, six players to go after the DDoS. Okay, guys, so I take it that you're not having any questions. Everything is clear. Everything makes you happy. You don't have anything to complain about. Okay. So yeah, one last information, I guess, on my side because we're getting to the end of the stream at this point. For next year, regarding the streams, once we return in January, will also be um, I will be setting up a survey about different aspects of the streams to get to know what you guys expect from the streams and how we should get going for next year. The main point being, you know, we need to find a system that makes it valuable also for us to get the streams going. I know that there are things you guys would like to see in it that you don't see at the moment. So yeah, we'll probably have a survey running early next year, get everything going, and get to decide how we want to go with this. Because at the moment, it's we know that it's suboptimal, so that's something we'll need to pay a closer look to, and we'll discuss about that in the coming weeks. And yeah, the survey will come either next year or it will come before the end of the year for next year. That's possible as well. Not so sure. And yeah, we are getting to the end of the stream now. I think we still have Guinella to go after. That's it. Yeah, Guinella. And then we will be done for the day. Maybe I'm going to go on a victory. I have a good victory rate for this time. That's cool. The stream armies should be changed for the next iteration as well. That's That's what I try to stick to. I'm not doing it every single time, but I try to change it every 2, 3 streams. So the next one, I will see. Either the next one or the one after that will be changing the armies. But I think I will do it for the next one. This way, I will have also brand new ones for the stream right before Christmas that will try to make a bit bigger and a bit more interesting. Okay, that's basically it, folks. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for this stream. As always, it's been a good time doing the fight night. I hope you will have a great rest of the day. I'm going to be granting everyone their rewards now. And that's basically it for now. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening and talk to you soon. Bye.